All right, folks, time for the moment of truth. One last question on this, because you've already told me you believe he imagined this. Did you change clothes from the time he talked to you on
Yes.
Facebook? You did?
Mm-hmm.
Looking good, Your Honor.
And it was sexier than when he had talked to you?
I mean, I didn't see the issue with that, but yeah, I guess.
Oh, you at the hotel, the man tell you 100 miles away, you looking one way, then when he show up at the door 2 minutes later, you didn't change into a sexy outfit.
It wasn't, to me, it wasn't a sexy outfit, so.
You did?
To him, it was.
It was. I'm done. I'm out of that. All right, sir, that's why you question the paternity, and I probably would too. If that occurred, yeah, I would question it. So, on the other hand, you prepared to pay support for 2 more children? That's 10 children, sir.
I have one of my sons that's grown, Your Honor.
Okay.
So,
all right. All right.
It's actually like, this is the new addition, so it's like, this is actually making 8 versus knocking him off, so it's technically like
okay,
7.
got it. So the 8 includes the 2
with her
that you are the father of.
Yes, sir.
All right, because you are the father of those 2. So you can stop wondering. You can stop wondering about the man who ran out. Well, if he ran out, then you were the lucky one. All right, good luck to you. That's your children.
I mean, he already knew that, so this was just a waste of time.
I just want to apologize for saying, denying them and stuff like that. And I want to be a man and be a part of their life and do what I got to do. As you know, I do with all my other kids.
Okay, Terrell.
Plaintiff Anthony Bowman started dating the defendant after they met on social media. But he discovered she was cheating after he saw sexually explicit text messages between her and her ex. Anthony's suing her today for unpaid loans. Defendant Veronica Hornsby claims Anthony is suing her out of spite because he's upset that she ended the relationship. Veronica insists most of the money from Anthony was a gift, and he's suing for more than she owes.
All right, start with you.
Veronica and I, we started talking early September, just conversating through text message, social media inbox, Facebook. That's how we started our connection.
Now, if you don't mind, I like to get my arms around the whole dating as a result of meeting each other online. I know there are sites you go to. Then there are Instagram models who you DM. And I think that's what they say, you drop in they DM.
Yeah. Veronica and I, we had a few mutual friends. Mm-hmm. We got to the point where we exchanged numbers, so text messages and so forth. And then we got to October of 2020 where we actually had our first meet and greet date, October 31st on Halloween.
Okay. Let me just say this also. The reason I was trying to clarify that, because I be direct messaging like all these fine Instagram models, you never say anything back to me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I even tell them stuff. I mean, I'm just never. Yeah. I think Linda getting my deal. Can Linda get in now?
Yeah.
She can get in?
Yeah.
She erasing my stuff. Them women not even getting them.
No. They'd respond to you. I'm convinced.
They would, wouldn't they? If I DM you when you respond, young lady, you wouldn't. That says it all. It's not Linda after all. It's the women that just don't want to talk to me. My ego is crushed. I thought I was popular. I'm just kidding with you. You responded to him, no. So I'm jealous of you. So October 31st, you all met each other in person. How did that go?
I mean, it went great. I thought, we met at a restaurant here locally closer to her. We chatted, talked, shared laughs, stories, whatnot. I felt like we had a good initial meeting, and even after that first meeting, we carried on through the night and we went to a Halloween party together.
So was it a trick or a treat?
Well, I thought I was looking for a treat, but obviously I got tricked through the process.
Okay, let me hear from her. Young lady, what would you like to tell me about this?
Well, Your Honor, I feel like that I'm just here today because out of spite, and I'm saying that because we did meet officially on Halloween, and we did go out, had drinks, and then we did do the Halloween party. I had fun. It was fun. We dated, or went out. We were kind of just trying to fill each other out. That's how I saw things in my eyes. We dated for about 2 months, and then along the time, my mother started. Her health declined rapidly, and so we kind of. I kind of backed out of it because my attention went to her. Mm-hmm. So I just didn't have the time that I had initially on the front end. I think he resented that.
If I DM you when you respond, young lady, you wouldn't. That says it all. It's not Linda after all. It's the women that just don't want to talk to me.
Defendant Veronica Hornsby is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims he discovered Veronica was cheating when he saw sexually explicit text messages between her and her ex.
When did you turn your attention away from a friendship or relationship?
It's my mother's health declined rapidly in January. Okay. So I started, so it was only spending more time. Right. So he and I only dated about 60 days. Okay. So what happened was we started, he was planning a Valentine's getaway, which was sweet. And, initially I was looking forward to it and everything. And then I got word from one of my friends that, he was going to do a surprise proposal. And that they were to come up to the retreat where we were going to be and everything for a whole surprise. And I thought that, that was premature. And I had been saying the whole time, I just want to take things slow. It's easy it's always easy to just jump into something. I didn't want to jump into something.
So how do you characterize the relationship, sir?
Partly what she says is true. Yes, her mother, health got really bad in January, but okay, we're talking about January now. November, December, we're having conversations on a regular. We're having conversations about a future, moving forward, building something together, and yes, it was moving very fast. And with the conversations we were having, the things that we were doing, we were sleeping together, visiting each other's residents, meeting each other, family members, and so forth. So, yeah, during the conversation, yes, I got the notion that she wanted to be married as much as I did. So, of course, right after Christmas, I went and purchased an engagement ring because of the conversations we had. I was under the assumption that she was in that mode of being ready as well.
Did you ultimately present it to her and ask for her hand in marriage?
No, sir, because we never even got to that part.
But you bought the ring, you say?
I purchased the ring for Valentine's Day weekend. Okay. I had planned a weekend getaway, and that was going to be the whole presentation.
Yes, ma'am?
Yes. So my mother's health declined, and she actually passed 3 days before Valentine's. I wasn't going anywhere.
Sorry to hear that. Let me just ask you, who did you lean on? Couldn't you have leaned on him during that process?
Maybe, but like I said, to me, this is still early. You get what I'm saying? Yes,
Oh,
I could
absolutely,
have.
absolutely.
Yes, I could have.
I think it was
But,
too early
you know,
to get engaged, for sure. I was just saying maybe to grow the relationship in a way where you could lean on him. You came into my life at the right time. I need support. Thank you for being with me to provide support. I was wondering, why didn't you embrace that, though?
But you have to realize, too, I'm a mother. I'm a single mother, so my kids, she was a huge staple in our lives. So I had to be the strong person for other people. I had not even had a chance to mourn my mother. So what I'm just saying is it was very heavy emotionally. So I stepped away. You know, I feel like if it was going to be there, I could have stepped back. You know, it was going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
When
and that's just how I felt.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But
no, there was no coming back.
Hold on, sir. Yes.
Actually, an ex of mine had, you know, started to, you know, had heard about, you know, the death and everything and had stepped back in. And so this is a person I had known for a few years. So it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was just easier to do. And
tell me what happened from your standpoint.
Okay, so Your Honor, now she's trying to sugarcoat it, talking about when she come back or if she come back. There was no coming back because what she bringing up her ex inboxed me in January before her mom's death.
Saying what?
And he just approached me like, "Hey, are you talking to Veronica? Are you dating Veronica?" I was like, yes. Well, apparently, he said, apparently I am too. We've been back together since November.
Okay.
I have text message between him and her that in November that they're sleeping around together the same time that we were. If you look at page 4, the explicit sexuality between she and him.
Where you get these?
Yeah.
You broke into her phone? He sent them to you?
To me.
Wow.
Yes, he sent them to
Lame
me.
stuff. He's a lame. No, I'm not saying his name, so I can't get in trouble.
Who is this person to contact me out of the blue about my relationship with this woman?
I missed that.
So needless to say, Your Honor, this is why I'm here. That's what happens when you're dating. You're going to go out to eat. You're going to go to places. You're going to spend money when you're courting somebody.
When you borrow money from people, you say, I'm going to pay you your money. As you clearly stated in these text messages you sent to me.
From you.
If you see on page 13.
From you. And I did tell you we would pay it back. So, yeah.
I can't even use code words for this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I understand.
You know what I'm looking at? I ain't gonna do you like that. Woo, but that's fiery there. Don't start covering up now. That's what cover up. She said, the judge looking at me differently now. I am.
Hey, I ain't worried about it. You're a grown man, too.
It's very complimentary, quite frankly.
Wow. Okay.
Woo. Woo, but that's fiery there. Don't start covering up now. That's what cover up. She said, the judge looking at me differently now. I am.
Hey, I ain't worried about it. You're a grown man, too.
It's very complimentary, quite frankly.
Defendant Veronica Hornsby is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims he discovered Veronica was cheating when he saw sexually explicit text messages between her and her ex.
What are you suing her for? What is the money? What are the money for?
On page 16, there's a track of every loan that I gave to Veronica, December 23rd to February 4th.
All right, so on 12/20/20, this is Christmas, $2,000. You saying that was a loan?
Yes, sir. And she I went to the bank and personally gave her the cash from hand to hand.
When did she say she would repay you?
See, that's the thing. She never gave a specific date. She every loan, she would always say, "Well, you're gonna get your money."
How did it come about? She asked you, and what did she say she needed it for? Tell me how it came about, because it looked like Christmas gifts to me. Looked like here go 2,000 go Christmas shopping 2 days before Christmas. That's what it looked like.
No, because that came.
Tell me how it went. Tell me how the request occurred.
Okay, so I told Veronica I was taking out for a 401k from a previous job, and that was probably my biggest mistake, telling her about this money. So that's when she would say, "Well, you should have let me borrow like $2,000.
No,
you can even call it an investment into my company." What company? You from my understanding, you've been trying to do that little movie thing for the last 2 to 3 years that ain't never went nowhere. She says she's a writer and trying to get into producing a movie and trying to do these movie deals. And I've always told her, okay, that's what you wanted to do. That's your thing.
Your Honor, the truth is, I do have a movie deal. I don't care if he doesn't believe that that's there, but I never borrowed I didn't borrow the $2,000. When he said that he was pulling the money and you said what it was, I was like, I said, you should give me, $2,000. And he said, okay. So, and it's not uncommon for me. I date guys who give me large amounts of money all the time. And I'm just saying.
There's no question.
Let's call
you can get it all.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, 2,000 is cheap, doctor.
Your Honor.
Plain and simple.
I know some cats that'll give her some tens of thousands. If she just say what she said over here. She ain't got to do it. If she just say that. I'm sorry, but you and I know what I'm saying. So, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
And I did borrow $1,200 from him. I said,
borrowed $1,200,
I said,
not this too.
I didn't borrow the two. I did not, because no, I don't have to borrow.
Okay.
No.
Well, obviously you did, because that's what you asked for.
Thank you.
Asked to give, not to borrow.
It was not to ask to give, Your Honor. It was to borrow. Like I said, all the stuff I gave you a breakdown
how does it add
of everything
up to
from Cash App.
3,800 and whatever? Can you add that up for me?
Man, come on, call a spade a spade. Stop playing, Veronica.
I don't believe she's playing. I don't believe she's playing. Let me read some of the things you claim to be loans. Gas, $30. This is your woman.
Please.
The woman you're going to marry. You're buying a ring for her. You're doing all this, but $30 is a loan. $60 for a rug, doormat.
Doormat.
If y'all married, you're going to be stepping on the same mat.
No, it wasn't.
$45. Groceries. $45 can't get you anything but cigarettes and beer. So now you want your cigarettes and beer back. Rent. You know you got to get this woman some rent. All the stuff I done read, doctor, you got to pay a lot more than rent.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby, you got to pay a lot more than rent. I'm sorry, let me stop. I believe I might get in trouble, so I will stop. But this is so much fun.
It is.
All of my things, like I said, if you ask for something, you ask for it. But if you ask for a loan, then
and she gave you not one repayment date, correct?
Yes, sir. As she said in the text message between she and I on page 13, I'm making arrangements to pay you your money as we speak.
Okay. She did say she admits to owing you $1,200. Show me where she says the amount. Show me where she says anything over $1,200.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I did call him and I did say, hey, I said I can send you $1,000 like right now. And I'm feeling like, him saying that I owe $3,800. Like, come on. I don't know what kind of women he's used to dating or whatever, but that's not what we're doing.
Honest women.
Okay.
$45 can't get you anything but cigarettes and beer. So now you want your cigarettes and beer back. Rent. You know you got to get this woman some rent. All the stuff I done read, doctor, you got to pay a lot more than rent.
Thank you.
Defendant Veronica Hornsby is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims he discovered Veronica was cheating when he saw sexually explicit text messages between her and her ex.
You said you have some evidence where she was telling you she would give you more than $1,200?
She would give me my money back. Your Honor,
I said the amounts. We know that she owes you. The amount. That's what we're talking about now. Show me where she says she'll pay you back more than $1,200. I saw her say she'll give you $1,000, and when you talked about $3,200, she says that's something we got to discuss, and I'll see you in June to discuss that. Meaning that she didn't agree with it. She didn't agree.
Even on page 12, she tried to say her estimate was $1,700, and she'll have it to me by February 28th. Is this acceptable? No, you owe me more than
and you
more
say
than that.
That's not the total.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, when he came and flattened my tire, you gonna scratch
Flatten your tire?
some of that.
Are you?
Yeah, guess what? I live in a gated community, and they have a camera at the front. So when you pull your car through the front gate, guess what they're doing? Snapping right there. I have proof. So guess what? You can sit up here and say that you weren't here that night, but how did my tire get slashed? My tire was slashed. When I took it to the dealer, he showed me where my tire was slashed. I've never had a slashed tire. Okay.
I have nothing to do with that. Well, I don't look. I have nothing to do with your property. Your property did nothing to me. I ain't.
You got so quiet when I asked you about it.
No,
and then you sent me another $400. So no, you sent
When did he send you another $400, ma'am?
Yes,
when?
The same day that I addressed him about my slashed tire.
Is that true, sir?
No. Well, where? Please tell me where.
Baby,
Please tell me where. Is it?
Sir, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. The 1,700. I'm gonna grant you that. I do not believe that you would expect repayment from groceries, gas. $35 here, $30 here, $60 here. If you expect that from a woman that you intend to marry, I hope no woman is watching this today because you will never get married. Have a good day. 1,700 is your judgment. She was nice to even admit to that. Ma'am, you playing the game backwards. You know you're not supposed to be promising to pay this man. You know you didn't have to pay him back.
Your Honor, it's okay. It's okay. You know, we live, we learn.
You shouldn't have been trying to spin him. Don't try to spin him. Just say, you know, that wasn't a loan. I'm not giving you a dime back. You know you were with me. You read the text message from my boyfriend. You know what I do. You better, I'm sorry, man. Bye-bye.
I'm not going to deal with him. I mean, they granted him, you know, $1,700. I mean, I don't know why he was trying to recover I don't know. I feel like it was fair. I mean,
you know why? Stop playing. Call a spade a spade. But you know what? No, I promise. Don't worry about it.
Plaintiff Kiana Newkirk says her son dated the defendant, and Kiana tried to help her out. But the defendant repaid her by lying about being pregnant with her son's baby. Kiana's suing because while arguing with her son, the defendant damaged an apartment that was in her name. Defendant Dario Larkin grew up in the foster care system, and she looks at Kiana as a mother figure and still cares about her. Jeriel admits that she acted out during an argument, but she says Kiana's son was harassing her, and Kiana condoned his behavior.
Start with you.
Well, Dario is my son's ex-girlfriend, and we met maybe a little over a year and a half ago. And when I first met her, you know, she seemed like a nice, quiet, shy young lady. And I welcomed her into my home.
Them the worst kind.
Quiet ones.
Go ahead.
Why you say that? Well,
shy.
Oh no, I don't do that. I'm not that type of girl.
Oh, get him, please. Yeah, baby.
They were back.
Go ahead. So you should have known then.
They were off and on. You know, I kind of got to know her a little bit. And, you know, she just had a hard plight in life. She was in and out of the foster system. She just never really had the opportunities that I had or that my kids had. So I would, you know, try to take her under my wing, you know, try to put her up on life, and help her get some good things going for her.
Defendant Dario Larkin is being sued by her ex-boyfriend's mother, who claims Dario lied about being pregnant with her son's baby.
Give me some examples. How did you help her?
Well, I opened up my home.
Okay.
She lied to me and said she was pregnant for my son, which was near and dear to my heart, but it ended up, you know, not being true. But I opened up my home to her
That's enough.
Twice. Mm-hmm. And she always said, you know, teach me, you know, how to be a woman. Teach me how I can be successful like you. And I told her I would, you know. I just hold a spot in my heart for kids who just don't have what they need to get, you know, a good start in life. Anything I could do to help anybody,
good,
I would do it.
Well, thank you.
So,
let me hear from you, young lady.
Well, I'm the ex-girlfriend of her son. I basically met her a year ago, and she's been a mom figure to me. Although, like, this is happening, or whatever the case is, I still look at her as a mom figure because, again, I did grow up in foster care, and I still dearly, care about Miss Kiana.
Good. How old were you when you were in the foster care system? What years?
14 to 18.
Mm-hmm. And when you left, what happened? You get any support from the system?
Not really. It just went downhill. Like, I'm just now picking up and trying to figure life out. So, yeah.
What about, you didn't look to extend your preparation, your career preparation, either some level of education, advancement?
I did get my GED because at first I didn't have my GED. I dropped out when I was in high school in 9th grade. Mm-hmm. So I got my GED as soon as I turned 18. But I really didn't find a career that I wanted to pursue. So, I didn't really go to school.
Where did you look?
After.
How did you look?
I started going online and looking for schools, but it didn't catch my eye. College really didn't grasp me and be oh yeah, I want to go to college.
Not college training. How about
now
hairstylist, anything, a career? Go ahead.
Lashes did kind of catch my eye. Mm-hmm. Well, now I have a business, a lash business, so that caught my eye.
Legal licensed? Legally licensed?
No, not yet. I'm still going to school for it. So
okay, good. So you are pursuing a career. You're in school for lashes. Good.
Thank you.
That's a career. No, I'm not suggesting everybody has to go to college. I say prepare yourself with some level of education. Skill trade is education. All right. And dating her son, what was that like?
Of course, he's a good man. Although me and him have had our differences, he's still a great guy.
How you break up?
Me, because I just do too much, and I'm always overthinking what I should never overthink unless it's in my face.
She says you misled them about a pregnancy.
I did. Well, the baby mama, of course, she was kind of trying to jab at me or whatever the case is. And I thought I should do a jab back and say that I was pregnant. At the time, I didn't think that it would hurt the mom or anybody in the family until later on I was thinking okay, yeah, that could have been her blessing. Well, another blessing to her. So, yeah, I apologize.
You apologizing now or you apologized before?
No. I apologized before, and I am apologizing now.
You're a smart young lady. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of coming out of that foster care.
Thank you.
Pursuing a career for yourself.
Defendant Dario Larkin is being sued by her ex-boyfriend's mother, who claims Dario lied about being pregnant with her son's baby.
What's the $5,000 in damage and money you're suing about?
In the end of May, my son was, I had an apartment in Atlanta. And so my son was there and Dario came and they were my son was going to get everything cleaned up because the lease was about to be up at the end of July. And so they got into an argument. I guess one thing led to another. Dario ended up throwing a rock through the window. So she crashed the window and then she bleached his clothes. But in the process of bleaching the clothes, the carpet also got bleached as well. And, she took ownership of it. She said that she would pay for the damages that she did. It's been a couple of times that she'll tell me, okay, I'm going to send you the money.
What about the stolen money?
So that ties into that. So she called me one day. She said that this was in September. She said that she had $2,000 for me and asked me to send her a request on Cash App and she would send it to me. So
why do you have to do that? Why do you have to send a request? If she's talking to you, why couldn't you just say, could you Cash App the $2,000? Why does she have to Cash App a request? Maybe I'm missing something.
I don't know. I didn't think about it at the time. Sometimes people will say, send me a request instead of you trying to spell out what your Cash App is, so they can put it in and, you can send them the request and then they can just approve it.
Okay. Got it. All right. Makes it easy.
Yeah.
Makes it easy and convenient for everybody. All right. Okay.
Correct.
I don't Cash App. I don't do any of that. You got to come see me.
Well, I don't anymore. After this, I took it off my phone.
You got to look at me eye to eye, right? Go ahead.
Mail me a check or give me the cash. So I ended up, in an attempt to send the request, I ended up sending the money instead of requesting $2,000. I sent her $2,000, and so I called her to let her know, hey, I mistakenly sent the money. Can you send it back or can you refuse it and just send me what you have to send to me? And so she said, oh, I would never keep your money. I wasn't going to keep your money. I was going to send it back. And so it was like a whole long back and forth. I'm going to send it. I'm not going to send it. I'm going to send it when you make your son apologize.
People call me a dinosaur and all that because I don't send you're not taking my money. You can call me a dinosaur all you want, as long as you say loaded at the end. All right.
Look, me too. I'm going to be a dinosaur. Write me a check.
That's right.
Mail me a check and send a check in the mail, or let's meet up and give me the cash.
That's
I'm not going no more. This was very, very trying because I evacuated from New Orleans because of the storm. And so when I sent this to her, it overdrew my account. I didn't have, a lot at the time.
And why didn't she send it right back, you say?
You got to ask her.
Young lady.
We went back and forth.
Well, I basically didn't send it right back because I felt like, I just was hurt. Like her son and me breaking up hurt me. And I just feel like, she kept condoning it or whatever.
How condoning what? How was she condoning
because it was just like
arguments?
He made a fake page of me at the time. And every time I would kind of ask her to like tell him to take it off, she would just be like, I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm like, but you have the email.
Dario, I told you that I can't make him do anything. He's 26 years old. He's a whole grown man. I asked him to do it, multiple times, but I can't make him do anything.
Did you know she asked him to? Did you know she asked him to?
Yes, I did know she asked him to. You just said
that she condoned it.
I just still was in denial.
I know, but you said she condoned it, and in fact, she did what you requested, asking him to remove it. So that's an excuse.
And he didn't.
That's an excuse that wasn't true.
Defendant Dario Larkin is being sued by her ex-boyfriend's mother, who claims Dario lied about being pregnant with her son's baby.
What about the property damage? Did you
I
damage
did
the property?
do the property damage. I just feel like she's suing me too early because she agreed to a payment plan.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to do the payment plan at all. Like, she hasn't given me a time to do the payment plan.
What was the plan?
Basically, I would pay her whenever I got money, or I pay her $1,000. It wasn't like a specific plan. It just was I could pay her whenever I got money or got a job.
That's a good deal.
Have your mortgage like that?
Yeah, mortgage.
Car
Life.
Finance company for my car.
You got a job yet?
Insurance, yeah, everybody. Okay, thank you. All right, so is that true? You had a payment plan with no dates? Pay me when you can?
No, we did not know. What happened was, this was at the end of August.
All right, but the bottom line, you agreeing that you owe everything that she's suing you for, young lady?
Yes, I just feel like it's too early for her to sue me.
And, ma'am, what have you said to your son about the fight that they got into that resulted in the damage to your property? He certainly has something to do with what caused this damage to your house.
Well, like I told her, and I told him the same thing. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Everybody had a story. It's her side, his side. Somewhere in between is the truth. And I'm not one that take up for my son. Oh, he right. And she'll tell you, whatever is right is right.
Well, you're only suing her.
Wrong.
You're only suing her, and the incident involves your son. She wouldn't have done that.
He wasn't there.
Oh, really, ma'am?
When
You damaged her house and the son wasn't even in there?
When I did the window, he wasn't there. When I bleached his clothes, no.
Oh, okay, so he was in there.
Yes, and then he left, and I bleached his clothes.
Okay. All right. Did you know he was in there when she threw it in the window, ma'am?
I thought he left. I don't.
Right.
I
Whatever the case, she just didn't decide she wanted to do all that out of the blue. Your son had a lot to do with that, and you sticking her with the entire bill, but that's her choice to do so.
Well, I'm not sticking her with the entire bill. My son has had to do his share too, because
what? How much did he pay on the damage?
He didn't pay the property damage.
That's what we're talking about, ma'am. That's what we're talking about.
Deposit.
We're talking about what happened that night that you are suing her about. You're sticking her with the entire bill when your son certainly bears some responsibility. Sorry that you have to pay the entire bill. Sounds like you're right about her condoning her son's action. She certainly didn't make him accountable. Bye-bye. Judgment for the plaintiff is her money, but she stuck the young lady.
They know where I'm at, and I still care about, what happens to you. I want you to be okay. I feel how I feel. You know how I feel. But at the end of the day, I still want you to be okay.
I still love you as a mom. And thank you for all the life lessons you have taught me.